our earlier story where we are told that some junior doctors across the country have decided to embark on an indefinite strike action. Let's get to the central region. Let's find out what the situation there is now. Richard Kojonyakon joins me now over the telephone with that update. So, Richard, good morning. Thanks for joining us. What's the situation in your region? Are these doctors indeed on strike? Okay, well, we lost him there, so we'll be bringing Richard Kojonyakon and several of our other correspondents on this particular beat back. But moving on, let's do some politics now. In the office of the New Patriotic Party's General Secretary, Kwabena Ejapon, has been ransacked. Now, computers and some office stationery have also been destroyed. It's unclear who or what must have orchestrated the act, but the act supposedly happened last week. Kwacha Freniamo of our political desk joins me now in studio with some more on this latest development. So, Afre, good morning, thanks for joining me here in studio. Now, what's this we are hearing about the General Secretary's office being ransacked?
Indeed, we've confirmed this from sources close to the NPP General Secretary, Kwabena Ejapon, and the information is that when you go to the secretariat, where the NPP secretariat on the first floor of the party's Asalam Down headquarters, you have the Chairman Paul Afoko's office, and Kwabena Ejapon's office is just ahead. It's about some 20 steps ahead. You are just on the side as well. You have the office for the deputy chairman, that's the vice chairman and all that. And Kwabena Ejapon's office has a secretariat, okay, and that's a different office altogether. You have where you have his secretaries and his aides occupying, and you have Kwabena Ejapon himself, the office that he sits to work on your right side. Now, we understand that this incident happened last week, Friday, when Nana Addo called for a ceasefire. At least that is the belief of sources close to Kwabena Ejapon. It is not clear exactly the day it happened, but we know that since the unfortunate passing away of Upper East Regional Chairman Adams Mahama, Mr. Kwabena Ejapon and his aides, his office staff, have not been to the office. And information we have gathered from, again, sources close to Kwabena Ejapon is that they only went to that particular office yesterday. And when they got there, they realized that the office had been ransacked.
I see. So, so as of now, they do not know whether indeed it was an insider or maybe it was a robbery incident, or we still don't know who must have put together this particular thing.
Well, that is not clear, but I'm sure you know as well that since the death of Mr. Adams Mahama, the passing away of Mr. Adams Mahama, the invisible force of the NPP, the private security, have been occupying the party's headquarters. Most of them have been around the car park of the party. And aside these invisible force members, the 30 of them who have been there since this unfortunate incident, the party has a regular shift for the invisible force members, about 6 of them. You have 3 of them coming in the morning, 3 coming in the evening. But again, the question that Mr. Kwabena Ejapon's aides and sources close to him are asking is
so those are the pictures on your screens now. If you're seeing them, those are images from the office of the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Kwabena Ejapon. Well, we were told it was ransacked sometime last week. We are not too sure about the time there, but I will get you updates on that. So, after you were saying something, please continue.
Yeah, and I was making the point about who was there, whether or not there was any security presence there. We know since last week, in fact, over the past 3 weeks, there's been heavy security presence. That you've had police, you've also had the invisible force around. So in terms of the security situation, you have a clear idea. The question that sources close to Kwabena Ejapon are asking is that how could this possibly have happened? How could an outsider have broken through the main gates, through to the reception upstairs on the first floor, gone to that office with security, when you had all these security officials
so is it that they are suggesting is an inside job?
They find it difficult to believe, from my interaction with them, they find it difficult to believe that this could have been perpetuated by someone from outside, looking at the situation, because it's almost nearly impossible to have this happen from someone from outside. And again, the instructive point they make, which is that on the same day that flag bearer Nana Addo called for ceasefire, called for unity, they think that also on that same day that this incident occurred. Of course, I spoke a while ago to Nana Komia, communications director of the party. He's refused comment. He says that he's not heard about this as well at all. We'll be find out from the police as well what they know about.
Okay, please hold on. Let me just get through now and speak to an aide to Mr. Kwabena Japan. He's Pius Enam Hajide. He joins us now over the telephone. So, Pius, good morning. Thanks for joining us now. How true is this incident? Indeed, we are told that your offices have been ransacked. That's indeed your office and that of your General Secretary have been ransacked. How true is this?
Well, good morning, my brother, and good morning to your listeners too. Yes, I can confirm that the Secretariat of the General Secretary has been broken into and vandalized. We are still assessing the extent of damage, but yes, I can confirm that property sectors, computers, laptops, there's a television in the Secretariat, the file cabinet were vandalized. Yes, I can confirm that.
I see. So let me ask, when did you get wind of this information? How did you know that, well, your offices have been broken into, particularly since you were told you weren't in the offices, you've not been to the office for some time now. So how exactly did you know?
Well, we picked intelligence that that had happened, and we dispatched men to get confirmation and take pictures. And so, as of this morning, we have evidence that the vandalization has actually occurred.
Were there any documents that, anything specifically that was taken away? Or, yeah, let me put it that way. Was there anything that was taken away?
Like I said, we are still assessing. There is a master, the documents, there's a master file in which we list all the correspondence that come in and out. So we are taking time to reconcile what we have on our master document with what documents are available physically in the office right now. So at this point, I may not be able to tell what documents have been taken, if any have been taken or not. We are still in the process. Maybe for the rain, we would have been able to complete it already, but some of our personnel are still on their way because the rain has been heavy this morning, so we are kind of limited.
Is it possible that this act was carried out by persons within the party, possibly persons who even work in the same office as yourselves? Because we are told that security at the party headquarters has been very tight over the past few weeks. So how is it possible then for an outsider, some would suggest, an outsider come in and cause such havoc?
Well, my brother, I would not want to speculate and assume anything. I can only confirm what has happened. But as to who did what and why anybody would do that, I think it would be speculative at this point. I cannot speak to that.
Have you reported this issue to the police?
Well, no, we have not. I do not believe that the General Secretary intends to, but it is a decision that he would have to take. But I'm not sure that the General Secretary intends to report this.
But
maybe
obviously,
maybe to the appropriate party structure. But I'm not sure the General Secretary intends to report to the police. And
is there any specific reason why the General Secretary wouldn't want to report a crime to the police?
Well, I'm only hazarding a guess. He's a leader of a political party as big as the NPP. Sometimes I believe that we make allowances for one or two sleeps. And he is a very magnanimous person. I mean, he takes things in their stride. You can call it hazards of the job, but he has proven that he can take some of these things in good faith and move on in the larger interest of the party.
I see. So, finally, before you go, when was the last time the General Secretary went to the NPP headquarters?
It's been over a week. But I can assure you that the General Secretary is fully functional. He's been operating without let or hindrance. The job of the General Secretary is such that sometimes you can actually even operate without having to sit behind your desk in the office. So the General Secretary is on top of his job. He's fully functional and operational. He's in touch with all the people that he needs to be in touch with. He takes decisions, and he does his job. But for good reason, the General Secretary has not been to the office for a couple of days. But very soon, we are sure that the General Secretary, when we do repair the damages and all that, would resume his seat behind his desk at the headquarters.
Is he possibly not going to the party headquarters? I mean, going to his office there because probably he's scared that something might happen to him. People might just...
No. The General Secretary is not scared. There is nothing to be scared about. The General Secretary, of course.
Pius, you might have to speak up a bit. I can hardly hear you now.
I'm sorry, but I'm saying that the General Secretary doesn't have any reason to be scared. He's not scared of anything. He is a General Secretary that is loved by many within the party. Of course, we have had some challenges in the last few days, but the General Secretary is not going to the party headquarters for good reason, and it doesn't have anything at all to do with him being scared for his life or anything. But we just do not think that we should continue to make the news and all that. So he's staying away for good reason, for sanity in the party, in the media, and all that.
All right.
But he's fully operational. He's functional as General Secretary. He's able to do his work. If he needs anything that he has to do from the office, trust me, he will go to the office and do it.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Pius. But the fact still remains that he hasn't been to the office in at least 1 week.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Pius Enam Hajide is an aide to the General Secretary of the opposition NPP, Kwabena Ejapon. Let me quickly wrap up with Kwachi Afenyama, who is here with me in studio. So, Kwachi, there's been no word from the party on this, like you were saying.
Yes, I called Nana Addo a while ago. I also spoke to, that's the communications director of the NPP. I also called Deputy Communications Director Mike Okoye Jr. And they all said that they had not heard anything about this at all. I've subsequently tried reaching other party officials, but that has not been successful so far. But the impression I get, speaking to Nana Addo alone, is that they do not want to comment on this for now until they hear from Kwabena Ejapon himself, General Secretary, or any of his aides. Now, one of his aides, Pius, has spoken. We're waiting to see whether the party will make an official comment on this particular matter. All right.
Alfred, thank you very much for that update. That's quite a name of our political desk. Well, Shemaine with politics. And the political scientist, Dr. Theophilus Richardson, has taken a swipe at the flag bearer of the opposition New Patriotic Party for what he calls a failure on the part of Nana Addo to man up to the issues confronting the party. Dr. Theophilus Richardson says, as the flag bearer, Nana Addo is the elected leader of the party and should be in charge of the day-to-day running of the party. He's therefore asking Nana Addo to take charge of the party's administration as the party tries to resolve the current turmoil it finds itself in. He was speaking on Current Affairs program, PM Express.
On the other hand, I was
waiting for things to cool down. Things got out of hand.
Things got out of hand. But I will also blame him, partly blame him for all this, because he has failed since his election, to impose his authority, moral authority, over the party. Because I sat here, I think on the 31st of October last year, in a discussion with Nefedu Ajiman and others, following his election, on this same platform, and said that Akufo-Addo now was in a position terra firma. I mean, his feet were on the ground, having been voted massively, as the flag bearer of the party, and that he must take the party and place it on his lap, and provide the strategic direction that the party needed, if he was indeed determined to win the elections. Between that time and this time, we have not seen much. He cannot stay away.
Maybe he has a strategy you don't know about.
But look, he should be in charge of the party.
You don't see him as being in charge?
He cannot stay away for the party to conduct parliamentary primaries and all that. I don't think that it's a bit.
But there are structures in the party that
I think it's a little too hands-off. I think it's a little too hands-off.